energy-burning foods such as pasta, fruit, bread and potatoes.
All the current research, all the evidence on sports nutrition would suggest that a high carbohydrate meal, not just the day before or the meal before, but the days before and the week before a game, are very, very important in making sure that players have enough fuel in their system to train effectively and to play at the highest possible level.
In continental Europe, sports science is taken very seriously. When Jean Tigana took over as coach at Fulham, he did what all French coaches do.
And the first thing he did was give all the players a dental examination, because he reckoned that you could tell how physically healthy they were by the state of their gums. And Fulham had a centre-forward called Jeff Horsfield, who was of the terrifying Dracula school of no front teeth at all, apart from these two molars sticking down. And I think it was no coincidence that he was soon on his way the moment Tigana arrived at Craven Cottage.
With 8 days to go before England's first World Cup match, David Beckham and the England squad fly to their base in Japan.
David, any news on the injury?
Beckham continues his fitness training on a mini trampoline. This helps him build the strength back into the foot without the stress impacts of normal, vigorous training. James Sarr has now finished his microcurrent treatment, but because of the second break to his metatarsal, he is only just taking his first steps without his crutches. His consultant, David Chapman-Jones, is meeting with radiologist Dr. Adrian Thomas to assess their patient's progress. The rate of healing of any fracture can vary tremendously. Much depends on a patient's age, general health, and the kind of fracture and bone involved. Generally, the younger and fitter you are, the faster you recover. The X-ray images don't show the whole picture.
Conventional X-rays are very good at showing the bones, will show the bones in very good detail. Unfortunately, they won't show the soft tissue injuries particularly well. There'll obviously be quite a lot of healing at this site already, although it can't really be seen on X-ray.
No.
And I would have thought if it's not causing too much pain, then limited weight bearing would be fine. It's certainly not being displaced any further from that second injury.
But the ultrasound scan does allow us to see what's going on, and James is getting better. Though only 25, James is not in the same super fit league as a Premiership footballer like Beckham, who trains for up to 8 hours a day. So James's recovery may take longer. But he's in good spirits.
Yeah, I haven't got Man United's millions to get me going again, but the treatment I'm getting seems to have done the trick. That mixed with Mother Nature, feel really good about it. It's definitely getting better. So maybe, I don't know, Beckham's in the lead, but you know, I'm not at the finish line yet.
Then, suddenly, 7 days before England's first match, stories circulate that Beckham will not be fit to play and might even be flown home and replaced. There are now less than 6 days to go before England's first World Cup match. Will either of our two prospective players make their June the 2nd deadline? There is still no official news of David Beckham. No one knows if he'll lead the England lineup against Sweden. The revolutionary microcurrent treatment we've been using on Tunbridge Wells five-a-side player James Sarr appears to have improved the speed of his recovery. But is it enough to get him match fit? May the 27th, 2002. England have drawn their last 2 games before the World Cup kicks off. David Beckham is seen kicking a ball for the first time in 7 weeks, using his injured foot. But will he be ready to play in 6 days' time? James Sarr won't be. Though the microcurrent therapy has improved the speed of his recovery, the second break to his metatarsal bone has put him a long way behind in his race to mend it like Beckham.
When we look at David Beckham's injury, it's obviously been very cloak and dagger, so no one really knows the extent of what he actually did. But it appeared that it was quite a straightforward type of injury. So if we saw his bone, it was actually well aligned still. It was still in one piece as far as the actual alignment of it goes. Now the biggest problem with James's bone was he broke it again 1 week after his original fracture. And then what happened to him was, instead of having this alignment, we had this happening to his bone. So it was obviously a much more complicated, by the sounds of it, a much more complicated injury than perhaps David Beckham had. So in a way, to compare the two injuries, even though they were both to do with the metatarsals, both in their feet, and both sustained playing football, in the end they ended up with quite different types of injuries.
Over the next 6 weeks, James's fracture site will remodel itself and correct any deformities that may remain as a result of the injury. The final stage of any fracture repair can last up to several years. James may have lost his race to mend it like Beckham, but he can walk without crutches, and the microcurrent therapy has made his recovery 3 weeks faster than if he had waited for nature to take its course. Already his doctors say he'll be playing for his office five-a-side team within weeks.
When I broke my foot 6 weeks ago now, I was totally gutted, felt pretty miserable about it actually. Didn't realise that breaking a small bone in your foot would, totally wreck your life really. Can't even carry a cup of coffee, that kind of thing. So yeah, I was pretty gutted actually. I'm right up for playing five-side football again. I've really missed it actually while I've had the broken foot. So yeah, I'm really up for it.
If David Beckham is fit enough to lead the England team out for their first match of the 2002 World Cup tomorrow in Japan, it will be proof his treatment has been successful. And James Sarr will be watching.